Hi everyone, welcome back to Avishkar. We are into the video series of executing Python code in presentation slides. In this video, we will see how to set up Python project and run Jupyter Notebook, the one we are going to convert into presentation slides. Without wasting any time, let's get started. To create an isolated Python project, create a new folder with project name. Here I am using project name as Python in slides. Open terminal from the folder location if you are not. If you are using Windows, go to the address bar in the file manager, type cmd and enter. This should open terminal with the path set to the folder location. Now we are into the folder location. You can create an isolated Python project using Poetry, pynv, virtualenv, etc. In this video series, I am using Rai, a Python project and dependency manager. If you want to follow along with the Rai, you can check out the video link in the description where I have explained the step-by-step procedure to install Rai in Windows. Now we will set up virtual project, execute Rai init dash dash virtual. This will initialize a virtual project in the project directory location. Inside the project directory, we have the files like pyproject.toml, .python-version, readme.md file, .git directory, and a .git ignore file. Still, there is no .venv directory being created. To create it, type write sync. Before that, we will see what all these files are. PyProject.toml file stores the project configuration details like name of the project, description, the author, dependencies, the location of the README file, and the required Python version. Then the Python version need to be used in the project. It is been defined in python-version file. Here it says 3.13.1. So if we run rise sync, it is going to create a virtual environment with the Python version of 3.13.1. If you want to alter the Python version, we can alter it by saying ry pin, then particular version of the Python. Now here we are okay with 3.13.1. So I'll keep it default. Then next, this .git directory and .git ignore file are used for version controlling. If you are hosting or uploading this project in the GitHub or any version control system, you can add the description about the project or the documentation in the readme.md file. Now we will first create an virtual environment. For that, type ry sync. This is going to initialize an virtual environment with the directory name .venv. We can see. Now we will see how to add libraries to the Python project. You can use pip, uv, poetry depending on the project manager you are using. Here we will see how to do it using Rai. As I explained earlier, we are converting Jupyter Notebook into slides. So what is Jupyter Notebook? Jupyter Notebook is a web application for creating and sharing computational documents. In this series, I'll be using Notebook version 6.2.0. To add it to the project environment, type ry add notebook double equals 6.2.0. Along with this, I'll also have setup tools. Then press enter to add these libraries to the virtual environment. Here we can see it has added 60 packages. To verify the installation, run ry run Jupyter space dash dash version. It will list out the core packages of Jupyter and its version. You can see the notebook version 6.2.0 is successfully installed. Now we will see how to run Jupyter Notebook. To start the Jupyter Notebook server, type try run Jupyter space notebook. Or if you are using any other project manager, you can activate the virtual environment and execute the command Jupyter space notebook. To know the steps, check out the description of this video. Or if you need a step-by-step guide video, let me know in the comment section. Once you execute this run Jupyter Space Notebook, this will start a development server in the local host IP address of 127.0.0.1 and with the port number of 8888. You have the option to alter the IP address and the port number. If your system is configured to use any default browser, it will automatically opens as we have seen it over here. Or you can copy and paste the link shown in the standard output screen, that is a terminal. You can copy this link and you can paste it on any browser to open the Jupyter Notebook dashboard. This is the Jupyter Notebook dashboard. Here you can access the files in the project directory. To create a new notebook, click on the New button and click Python 3. It will create a new notebook with title untitled.ipynb. This is the layout of the Jupyter Notebook editor. We will see the interface tour of notebook. To know the interfaces, you can go to Help and click on User Interface Tour. By using left and right arrow mark keys, you can navigate between the tour. So this is the file name. You can click on this to alter the file name. Then the notebook menu bar section, notebook toolbar where the shortcuts you can have. Then this is the location where it indicates the mode of the cell. There are two modes. One is the edit mode and the command mode. Command mode will be shown blank. Whereas if you are in the edit mode of a cell, it will be shown with a pen icon. This edit mode is related to this particular cell. The green color border indicates that this cell is in edit mode. After typing something, if you want to go to the command mode, then you can press on escape or you can click anywhere outside the cell. Then to know the shortcuts of the notebook, you can go for help and click on keyboard shortcuts, or you can use the shortcut H to list out all the keyboard shortcuts. This circle indicates the kernel status. If it is only with the outline, it's an idle. If it is filled, then it indicates it is busy. If you want to stop the executing code, anything, or the kernel, then you can click on this stop button. Then this is the notification section where you can see the information about whether is there any interruption has been happened or the saving or the notifications with related to the notebook. That's it with the notebook tour. We will see how to change the file name now. Click on this untitled. Here you can rename the notebook file name. Here I'll go with basic slide. Now it has been changed from untitled to basic slide. We can use the cells to write the code, rich text using Markdown or HTML, and latex to include mathematical equation. So each and every cell in the notebook can be used for three different purposes: for writing the code or adding rich text or writing latex equations. To create basic slides, I'll use the cell as Markdown cell. So For this video, we will be using these cells as markdown cell. To make it a markdown cell, after clicking on the cell, you can see there's a drop down in the toolbar. Click on this and you can select markdown. So this will alter the cell to the markdown cell. Here, the tricky part comes to play. We need to convert this Jupyter notebook into slides. So every cell in the Jupyter notebook is used to represent a slide or subslide or fragment. So for this video, I'll create 6 slides to be easier. Later we'll go with the complicated one. So the 6 slides, I'll name it as slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, slide 5, slide 6. So for that, I need to create 6 cells. So in the first cell, I'll add the title as slide 1. Then you can press on this run to execute this cell and to create a new one. Then in the second one, also I need to make it to an markdown cell. So select this, click on this drop down, select markdown, then slide 2, then click on run. There's a shortcut. Instead of selecting the cell, going over here, pressing the drop down and choosing the markdown, instead of that, when we are on the command mode, or if it is in the edit mode, you can press escape to go to command mode. We saw in the notebook tool. Then to make it a markdown cell, you can press on M in your keyboard. Now automatically the cell has been converted to markdown cell. And to add the content, press enter, then type here slide 3. Now instead of using this icon over here to run and to create a new cell, we can use the shortcut shift enter. So that is going to execute that cell and it is going to create a new cell. Now I need to make it the cell as an markdown. So press escape, M, enter, slide 4. If you want to use shortcut, you can use shortcut. Or if you want to use the GI, you can use the GI. To list out the shortcuts, you can click on H. When you are in the command mode, click on H, you'll get the shortcuts. Or you can go for help and click on keyboard shortcuts, you'll get the shortcuts. Now I'll create still 2 more slides. As we discussed, I need to create 6 slides here. So after the sixth cell, if I press shift enter, it's going to execute and it's going to create a new cell. I don't want to create a new cell. So only I need to execute it. For that, you can use the shortcut as control enter. It's going to execute the cell, but it is not going to create a new cell. Now we have the Jupyter notebook ready. The next step is to convert the notebook to slide. To convert notebook to slide, we will be using a library known as Rise. To install, we'll go back to the terminal. You can open a new terminal and you can install the Rise library, then we can work. Or if you want to do it on the same terminal, you can stop the Jupyter Notebook server. To stop the Jupyter Notebook server, press Ctrl C and Y enter, or you can directly press Ctrl C twice. This is going to stop the Jupyter Notebook server. Now to add Rise library to the project, same as previously what we had done, like Rise add. Okay, here I need to install Rise. I'll be going with the version of 5.7.1. So use Rise add, then the library name, then press enter. This should install the library to the particular virtual environment. Now we need to restart the Jupyter Notebook server. So same run Jupyter space notebook. I have already the dashboard being open in the browser. I don't want it to create a new tab and open the dashboard. For that, I'll be using a flag saying no browser. Dash no browser avoids opening a new tab for the Jupyter dashboard. So press enter. So here we can see it has not opened any new browser. So we'll go back to the old one. Here we can see as we stop the server, the kernel has been stopped. So we'll click on try restarting now. Then we'll press on the save button. Now the kernel is ready. Okay. So here, if you observe in the notebook toolbar, we have these shortcut icons. After this keyboard icon, it has been empty. As we install the Rise, it is going to add a new shortcut on the toolbar to reflect that on the notebook. Refresh the page. Once you refresh the page, you can see over here there's a new icon being added. Graph icon is added, which says enter or exit Rise slideshow. So by clicking on this button, we will be converting the Jupyter Notebook into slides. If we directly click on this, we can see all the content are going to be shown in a single slide, but that is not what we require. So we need to configure each and every cell to be shown as a separate slide. For that, we need to do some metadata configuration. For that, I'll exit out of this slideshow by pressing on this X button. Now we are in the normal notebook mode. Before configuring the cells, to get notified for successive videos, click on the subscribe button and press the bell icon next to it and choose all. Now to configure the cell, go to views. In the cell toolbar section, we can see slideshow. Click on the slideshow. This will add a new drop down option for every cell. For each and every cell, you can see there's a new drop down option. Select this drop down and choose slide. I'll be choosing slide for this video now. Later we'll see what are this subslide, fragment, skip notes and all. Now I've chosen all the cells to be as a slide. Once it has been selected, click on save. Then now press this rise button. Here we can observe we have the slide one being shown in a separate slide. To move to the next slide, in the right bottom corner, you can see there's an arrow mark being indicated. You can press this arrow mark or you can use keyboard shortcut of space. So slide 2, slide 3. If I want to go back, you can press this back button in the right bottom corner, forwarding with this. With keyboard shortcut, you can use space to move a slide forward. If you want to go to the previous slide, you can use shift space to go to the previous slide. After the slideshow, to exit out of the slide mode, press this X button at the left top corner. That will exit the slideshow. That's it for this video. In the next section, we will see how to make slides attractive with images, tables, links, fragments, etc. If you found this video series helpful, share it with your friends, students, faculties, and developers in your circle whom you feel they may get benefited from this video series. Any queries related to the topic, drop them down in the comment section. We'll be happy to help you out. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.